Welcome back to my channel. So this is what I'll be making today. So for this project I'm using a 4mm hook, a darning needle, a pair of scissors. I'm using buttons since I couldn't get safety eyes, a stitch marker, a yarn, thread and needle, and that's it. So to start off this project, oh yeah, and our stuffing, very important. So to start off this project, we are going to make a magic ring. In case you don't know what a magic ring is, you just place the tail end of your yarn on two of your fingers, just like that. Wrap the other end to make an X, then insert your hook under and above, and grab that yarn. So once you've done this, you just chain one, and we're going to start off our first row for our project. So chain one, we're going to work single crochets into that loop there, into our magic ring. We're going to work single crochets 5 times. Always make sure you mark your first stitch because it's always very difficult to find. So 5 single crochets into that stitch. For this project we'll be using our stitches would be single crochet, half double crochet, and slip stitches. In case you don't know how to make one, I have a tutorial on it, on the easy stitches, easy beginner friendly stitches. So once you've gotten your 5 stitches, you just close up your yarn by pulling at the tail end. Then to start off our row 2, we're going to go into that very first stitch, which is always very hard to see. We're going to go into that stitch with 2 single crochets. Remember we made a total of 5 single crochets in our first row, so we're going to be adding 2 single crochets into every stitch to make it 10. So 2 single crochets into all those stitches all the way to the end. Don't forget to mark your first stitch because it's always very hard to see. So I am at the end of my second row, that last stitch. Alright, so to start off our third row, we're going to take off a stitch marker, and we just finished our second row, by the way. For our third row, we're going to go into that very first stitch with a single crochet, just 1 single crochet, then into the next stitch with 2 single crochets. So single crochet in one stitch, 2 single crochets in the next, to make it a total of 15 stitches. So 1 single crochet in one, 2 single crochets in the other. So I'll meet you guys when I'm at the end of my row. Don't forget our pattern: 1 single crochet in one stitch, 2 single crochets in the next stitch, all the way till we get to the end of the row. So right there. Okay, so our third row, we added 2 single crochets in the second stitch. Our first row, we added 2 single crochets in each stitches. So for our fourth row now, we're going to make 2 single crochets into the third stitch. So the first stitch, just 1 single crochet, another single crochet in the next, and in that third stitch we're going to be adding 2 single crochets. So row 4, we're adding 2 single crochets at the third stitch, 2 single crochets at the third stitch, all the way to the end of the row. So that's the last stitch for the row. And for our fifth row, we're going to be placing different stitches into that very last stitch. So the first should be half double crochet, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. the next stitch is going to be a double crochet into that very same stitch. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and another half double crochet. Then lastly, we are going to close up with a single crochet. So we are going to slip stitch into the next 3 stitches, and at the 4th we're going to repeat the same process we just did. So make a single crochet into that next stitch, half double crochet, a double crochet, another half double crochet, and a single crochet to close up. And we're going to slip stitch into the next 3 stitches and repeat the same process at the other side to get to the end of the row. I'll meet you guys when I'm right there. So just in case you don't know the stitches, I have a tutorial on how to crochet different stitches. So in that very last stitch, I'm going to do the same thing: a single crochet, a half double crochet, a double crochet, another half double crochet, and a single crochet to close up the stitch. So after I've done this, you're going to slip stitch into the next 3 stitches, and that's it for our star. Just chain 1, leave a very long chain, leave a very long yarn, and just cut it off, pull through, tighten your work, and that's it for the first part of our project. Just pull the yarn through, and we're going to make a similar thing just like this. We're going to make another part for it. So I already made that part. If you've not made yours, you can just pause, go back to the beginning of the video, and make a second part for yourself. So to go on, I'm going to go ahead to place our eyes, just in case you can get safety eyes. I think it would be better to use that, but if you can't, I used buttons for my eyes. So I'm just going to place my eyes where I want them to be, and just sew it in with my needle and thread. So that's it. So I am done with both eyes. I'm going to make a smile. So I'm going to insert the hook right below the eyes of our row 1, and insert it and go through the opposite end, and just pull our needle rather, and right below where we have our thread, we're going to insert the needle and grab that thread right there, pass your needle through it to secure it, to keep it firm and give it that curve. So that's it for our smile, and I'm going to do this again to make it a bit tighter, and that's it. We're done with our smile. The next thing we're going to do is our blush. We're going to give our project the pink cheeks right there. So for that, I'm going to insert my I'm going to put my yarn into my darning needle, the pink yarn. That's what we're going to be using for our blush. And that's what we're going to be doing right now. So I've already inserted my yarn. I'm going to just go right under the cheeks of under the eyes, and just pull our yarn up and go in to the next loop, and that's it. I'm going to cut off and just do the same thing in the other side. So just fasten off. So, and we're done with our second part. Don't forget to for our extra yarn that we had left, we're going to just pass it through our darning needle, and we're going to join both sides together by just passing the needle through the back stitches only. So you're going to place your project the wrong sides facing each other, just like that, and we're going to be going into the back loops only. So just get into the back only. So the back loops is what we're going to just be working on all the way till it gets to a certain point. Then we can add our stuffings in it, then close up our project. So we're just going to keep repeating the same process all the way till we get to that point. I'll meet you guys when I'm there. So if you've gotten to this point or you're yet to get there, you can always press your work and join me when you're there. So we're going to add our stuffings. We won't be needing much, just not much. We're going to place our stuffings. Always get the edges of our star, so the stuffing gets into every side of our project. So we're just going to keep stuffing until we're satisfied. Anyway, just keep adding more cutting until you feel it's enough. I just kept on adding and adding and adding. So that's just what I did here, and I'm going to keep closing up my project all the way till I get to a certain point. Then I can fill it up again and just close up the work. So we're just going to keep continue the same thing all the way till we get to. Alright, so I have just a small hole left. I'm going to add more stuffing to like fill up the space I have there. So after this, I'm just going to close up my work, then chain one, cut off my yarn, and I'm done with the project. So if this video is helpful, or if you find it helpful, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment in the box below. And voila, we're done. I'm just gonna cut off that yarn, and I'm going to weave in my yarn, so in case if I cut it off, it's not going to have any effect whatsoever. So I'm just going to weave in that extra yarn and just cut it off. That's just it. And done. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.